So this is the last session, and in this session I just want to show you the reporting of your finalized design, that how you will make a report. So for example, if you want G
No, sir, that's the name.
okay, for example, if you want to if you need a report of your pipes separately, then you can make a report from here. First of all, you will have go to the report tab, and that in that tab you will have to select a pipe. So from here you can take in the PDF format your data just by clicking here. If you want, for example, if your current time set, so here the current time step is about 10 hours. So for example, for any time set, mostly for the peak hours, you need a report that how the demands varies throughout the system. So for example, for the pipe, you need to a report, so you can just export it from here by report current time step. So basically the whichever the time step is here, so based on that time step, the values on the dia or the flowing through the through pipes, you can get it from here as well. You can also get it for the whole time steps, and similarly for the report in the XML format. So it will generate a report for you. For example, I'm generating for the whole time step, therefore it is taking some time. So in this way, it will give you the report giving you the diameter, the start, stop node, and length label. You can also change the page setup from here. For example, if you want to make it landscape, you can do that as well. You can delete these for example, if you didn't need, for example, hash check valve and something else like this, so you can also edit remove column. For example, if you want to remove this column, you didn't need that hash check valve, so you can remove from here. You can decrease the dia of the width of a column as well from here to adjust there in a report. You can play around with the flex table of pipe junction. For example, if you want to add some column you need in a final report, then you can add it from here in a general geometry, initial setting, physical results. So based on that, you can create a report current for the current time step. You can also create, and similarly for the whole time step. So mostly if you want to give a final report to the client, mostly a peak, how a report is provided to them. So basically this is for the pipe table. You can also do it for the junction, for the tank, reservoir, for the customer meter. Using a customer meter, you can also then these are the customer which we have defined. So based on this customer meter, you can show you the client that these are the customers, that these are the demand related to these customers. How is the pattern is following these specific customer units. And similarly, you can also add other columns related to it, the customer meter, the physical energy. Okay. ما ده ختم ما data ختم شوفه. So you can also add the coordinates of that customer meters, and then for example, and you can also add the elevations of these customer meter, and you can then export it for a current time step or for the all time steps. So I want to show you that how to create a customer custom report. So click on the custom report. Mostly if you provide a report to the client, you show you the different portions of your network, or as a whole, the plain view of network. Then how you will do that? First of all, you will create a view for it. For example, this is a network. In order to show, I want to show you the, for example, first of all, you will create a name view for this whole network. So you will zoom to a specific area like this, and then you will create a name view for that specific view. So you will click on the name views, select uh, name view. So automatically it will capture the view, the present view of a workspace. Give it a name, for example, plan view of Ghazi Court. Then you can add it to the custom report. For example, first of all, I want to delete this. So this a blank report will open when you click on the custom report. First of all, you will create a scenario. So what is the scenario? Basically, we are doing for the continuous system. So you may have a different scenarios in the WaterGEM as well. You want to make a selection for the none. It's a default selection, so leave it as it is. And then for example, you want to show a map view. So the map view, you have to select a name view, then view of Ghazi Court, make it a center width of page factor. So you can adjust these things. So you can also adjust the time from start, how the data required, at which time do you require the data. So maybe 2 hours or 14 hours or 16 hours. So based on that, you can also select from here. You can select from here and to get the data. So now generate a report. So it will show you the plain view of your network by using a named view. And if you want to add, for example, section title, for example, title of a report, so you can give it a design of a Ghazi Court Mansera. Then click on the generate report. You can observe that it is showing you the design of Ghazi Court Mansera here. Now, if you want to and change the footers of a page, then you can also change it from here. For example, from by clicking this small arrows, you can for the report, it should be select for the basically where we have assigned header the design of Ghazi Court Mansera. So it's basically depend upon this. So you should enable this option in the header. If you provide a name for the title of a name, then it will be shown by enabling in the header tab by enabling this report title option. And you can also use appropriate name options for your desire. Using your based on your requirement, you can change these values. You can also change, for example, you can project file name is, you can also enter a manual values, like for example the project is the Ghazi Court or design. The date and time should be as it is, and you can the company name should be of let me change pagination is okay, the Bentley info. uh, Project, you can add the project engineer here. You can also add you can add here, for example, consultancy, CES consultancy. Similarly, you can add here company name, and you can change it from here at as well. For example, title is the design of Ghazi Fort. There are engineer Bashir Shahriar. Okay, so by using these values, it will automatically assign. These are report title. So by using it will automatically assign to these values in the footer and header. So you can observe it. You can observe it, the CS consultancy engineer Mubashir Sharia, CS consultancy. So this name basically I give it manually. You can also give it manually. It is basically pagination. You can also change the date manually, and this is a Ghazi code design as I enter there manually. And if you want to add, for example, the hydraulic model properties, you can add it here. You can observe it is basically the title of your network, the engineer which is designing the water supply network. So you can also add it here properly. Now, for example, if you want to give them for example, you can also add a page break. So if you add something new, then it will uh, if you add something new, then it will add after this page. So by a page break, it will break the page. You can add graph. For example, if you want to add a graph, you can also, by using a name graph. What is the name graph? You can add it here. For example, it's a graph, line series graph. And for this pipe, for example, so these are the different pipes showing the flow. Okay, okay, so I create a graph, and you want to add these graphs. So mostly if you want, if you will give a final report to the client, you will have to add these different types of graph of a profile, and similarly the hydraulic gradient elevation of each node. So different types of graph will be required. So you can add it from here. Basically, just right click on the scenario, add a graph, select on name graph. Okay, so now you can observe that the graph has been added to the report. Similarly, you can align it at the center as well. uh, you can change the aspect ratio of your graph. So you can observe it is increases. So if you want to add space in between these two, so you can also add a space in between these two by adding a blank line. So a space will be one. You can also change the margins of your page. Okay, let me check. Now you can observe that margin has been changed. Similarly, if you want to add, for example, section title, for example, the for this map, plain view of water supply or the code water supply network. So now you can observe that the plain Vivo Waji code water supply network has been added to it. Similarly, you can also add, for example, a section for this graph. You can also add it from here, section title, open, given a value of flow in pipes. So you can also be in a brief, you can give a value for that specific, for example, P67 pipe, P58 pipe. So you can add it as well depending upon the condition. So you can observe that it has been added flow in pipes. Page break masala ka actually the graph respect ratio.
Yes, Nella. Punche? What mo tikmak, no? Umakit.
Elizabeth, please turn off your mic. Flow in pipe. You can increase the spaces by increasing the number of blank lines. That's some masala da yara. The setting may be a kauho. That's an or suhem. You can also add, for example, a summary section like scenario summary. So this is a scenario summary. You can add it from here. For example, if you want to add the hydraulic summary, you can also add it here. So based on the client demand, you can you have to generate a report. This is a hydraulic summary, number of trials uses and for which duration of use you have used, and you can change the simulation start date from the calculation options and it will automatically update it here. Similarly, you can add, for example, pressure pipe inventory. You can add it here. So this pipe inventory showing you that the 24 millimeter of dia having a length, total length of 44 meter in a water supply network. Basically, I didn't design properly, therefore it is showing just a 4 pipes, die of pipes. If you design it properly, then it have a number of dies in that water supply network. So basically, these are the dias, these are the lengths, the total lengths apply in a water supply network. All the material, similarly, this showing the material. Also, there may be different type of materials, ductile iron, galvanized iron. So based on that, it will also show you that that specific material will have a specific length of pipe in the water supply network. You can also add the network inventory. So this basically network inventory showing the how much the number of pipes in the network, laterals, the junctions, and the tank. Is it a circular, non-circular variable area? Reservoir, how much reservoir in there in the network, how much the pump, how much the customer meter. So these the in a summarized form, all of the data is provided to you in a final report. You can also add a flex table. For example, if you want to add a flex table, for example, of a junction, and you can change a time for at which time you need a flex table in the case of a extended period simulation. So you can add it here as well. It will create as a flex table for you. So in order to remove these non-required columns, then you can do it by just by going manually opening these specific flex table and removing these columns as I shown you earlier. So the specific column which you need, you can add it to the flex table, and then you can add it to your report. Similarly, for example, if you want to add the data table of this graph, then you can also add it to the data table. And the data table is basically for the name graph, and you get the name graph is select graph. This basically the graph. So for the graph 1, the data in the form of data table, the table in the form of table, the data will be show you in a report. So basically this is in the graph form, and this is basically in the table form. Will show you the flow through these specific pipes at a different time of intervals, and you can make comparison in between these two. Similarly, you can also add graph flex table. I show you all of the things. So based on the requirements, you can change your report. So what's the client's demand? Based on that, you can provide it. And for the die of pipe, I want to spend you one point. Mostly, if you select a pipe that we design a pipe, is basically of a internal dia. These are two type of a dia. the outer dia of a pipe and the internal dia of a pipe. So this is basically the internal dia and outer dia. Mostly the manufacturer provide you the whole dia of a pipe and the outer dia of a pipe, and based on that what you will do, you will have to select the internal dia. So what we design a water supply in a water gym is basically we provide an internal dia. So based on that dia you select a pump available in a market. So for example, if you design uh, of 300 millimeter of a pipe, then you have to select a die of pipe that should have an internal dia of 300 millimeter, or it should be greater than that. It should not be less than that. So it may be, for example, if you added the outer dia in such a way, so it may be of, for example, 35 millimeter available in the market, or the 320 millimeter in the market. Let me open the files. Uh, Let me open the catalog. So these are the different pipes provided to you by manufacturer. So based on these dia, you have to select a specific pipe of a different type. So P, PN-10 nominal pressure of pipes should be used for the design of a water supply network is most appropriate, and you can also use these type of uh, different table provided to you by a manufacturer. So these are the normal size. Based on these normal size, you have to subtract the outer dia. Mostly provide these are the rates. So by using these type of tables, you have to select appropriate die of pipe for your network. What I want to show you. Okay, the last thing I want to show you that uh, in a WaterGEM, it do not provide you the WaterGEM to generate report for a profile to include a profile in your report. So what you will have to do is it's a profile. So what you will have to do, you will have to select create a profile. For example, you want to create a elevation profile for these pipes. You can just select or click on the open profile, select a new profile, and there's based on this select values of profile. You can then create a elevation profile for this pipe. Then you can export it, and you can also make some changes if you want to do, for example, in a legend or in a tie, in a series, in a panel, in a axis. Let I want to show you something. If you want to change the legends, you can change it here. So showing the name of a junction and also the elevation of that specific junction from here. You can change it from here, the x value and the x value, similarly the y value, the elevation of that point. You can easily change the gap in between the x and y value. You can add the title to it as well. For example, if you want to add a title x and y visible at center, So it will show to the client or the contractor that the first value show the X value and the second value show the Y value, and you can play around with it depending upon your demand. For the series, for the mass, and for the label. So if you want to show the label and value, you can also show simple a value here, and you can also change the label and percent, the how much percent is respect to each other, is one above and below to each other, and X and Y values you can also show these values. So based on that, you can then export it to, for example, you want to export it to print preview. For example, you want uh, to change it to the PDF report writer landscape, decreasing the margins 25, 25, 25. So based on that, you can do that just by saving somewhere else. For example, I want to save it in the WaterGEM table. So WaterGEM folder, this is the profile. Okay. It will export it and open it to the profile. So if you want to add this profile in a report you have created in a WaterGEM, then you can add it by using, for example, I want to show you that custom report, and I want to generate a report, and then export it. By session जो create को बस लक्षण कर पाते सही I am going to create another session. It's going to end is about 1 minute. So let me create another session.